I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I love everything from the action, to the villains, to the humor, to the characters. I love it all. I mean, fuck, Elizabeth Swann is, I'm not even joking, my favorite fictional character of all time. And this trilogy is my favorite trilogy of all time. So obviously you can imagine my anticipation for Sea of Thieves: A Pirate's Life, which was advertising itself as a new original story continuing the original trilogy. Also yes, I mean trilogy, because these two are really bad. So as for my review of this, I figured I'd start with my praises and then I get into more of my negatives. So let's review Sea of Thieves: A Pirate's Life. Starting off, I should just say that I love seeing all the characters that I love from Pirates of the Caribbean. Whether that's seeing characters like Mr. Gibbs, Beckett, Davy Jones, and especially Jack Sparrow. What's nice is that there are sections of the game that Jack Sparrow will actually be helping you out. Also, having Davy Jones as the main villain is really fun since it relied on his relationship with Calypso. It wasn't simply, oh, we have Davy Jones back, and then you kill him in the most basic way possible. No, they actually brought back his thing with Calypso, and that's how you kill him. Well, he doesn't die, at least I think, but that's how you defeat him. But it's also because this game does fan service really well, and there are a whole lot of moments that kind of resemble parts from the actual movies or are taken right out of the movie. Like scenes that reenact stuff from Dead Man's Chest, which is my favorite in the franchise. Another thing that I absolutely loved in this was the level design. And by that, I mean a lot of these levels just look nice. Like, seriously, my favorite one was obviously the Spain City, and I played this with some friends and they agreed too. But it just looks so damn good. A lot of these level designs are just so intricate and fun, and all like the stuff to solve the puzzles is so well hidden, but so well integrated into the maps. And part 3 is just the best Telltale out of all 5. Mostly because, again, the level design, the puzzles, and also really enjoyed the enemies. Part 5 was mine and my friend's second favorite, mostly because it's just a whole bunch of chaos and epic fun. It's just really bombastic and really epic. Exactly what a final battle in a video game or DLC or whatever should be, depending on what you want to call this. What's also great is the fact that we get a whole bunch of new enemies. In regular Sea Thieves, we normally get to only fight skeletons or skeleton ships or whatever, however here we get full-on new monsters and that just brings a whole lot more fun to it. We also get to fight a whole bunch of new villains called Siren Heads, and they were really fun. My favorite enemy that was added in this update. We also get the Trident, which is a really fun new weapon that I loved using. It brought a whole bunch of new playstyles to the game, considering the fact that it was much more powerful and could actually charge up. We also get to fight the Kraken, which was really fun. And seeing what the Kraken actually looks like in Sea of Thieves was fucking cool. You could never see what the Kraken looked like in Sea of Thieves because there would always be a whole bunch of black ink in the water preventing you from seeing it. However, now we get to see its full face and everything, and it is awesome. And the ending where we see Jack Sparrow get revived and no longer be a ghost is the only ending I could ever ask for in this. They even hint at the fact that potentially we could get another one of these DLC things with Jack Sparrow, which I would love. Anyway, with all that said, I do unfortunately have to get onto the stuff that I'm not a huge fan of. Starting off with the fact that it is very glitchy. For example, there was a glitch where in Telltale 2, I was playing and fighting the Kraken and suddenly I just got teleported out of there for no reason. It's clear that they did not have a lot of time to patch this stuff considering the fact that they announced it like 1 week before it actually released, and that, come on, man. The second Telltale was super miserable to play considering the fact that there were tons and tons of glitches. Also, in the second part, there would constantly be parts where the players who last previously played it, what they had done didn't restart, so it made a lot of stuff literally impossible and unable to play. Now, sometimes it did help, but most of the time it didn't at all. Also, sometimes players would literally attack you, and while sometimes that could be nice and fun, it usually just results in being very annoying. We would just be trying to play the Telltale, however, then we get jumped by like 4 players, and that shockingly is not very fun. It made the second Telltale very miserable to play, despite the fact that there were some fun moments. Stuff like seeing the sunken pearl, the thing that resembles freedom at the bottom of the ocean, could have made this the best one. But my friend and I found this very miserable, which sucks. Now I get it, maybe you guys didn't have this experience, however this whole review is based solely off of my experience, and this was just how I felt. Also, Telltale 1 is kinda boring, and there's not a whole lot that you do in it. I get that it's a setup, but I feel like that there should be more fun stuff to do, considering really all you do is help some weird-ass skeleton head. And the Jack Sparrow stuff, you know, the important stuff, feels like a very small part of it. Also, some of the character designs I'm just not a big fan of. Specifically talking about the ones from Pirates of the Caribbean. Obviously, Sea of Thieves has a relatively unique character art style, however, I'd expect something a little better than this. I mean, Davy Jones looks pretty great, but what the fuck is up with Jack? The dude looks fucking Asian, and Jack Sparrow just isn't Asian. I don't have a problem with Asian people, but Jack, he just isn't. I don't know what to say. Anyway, I guess that's my review on Sea of Thieves: A Pirate's Life. It took me around 3 days to beat it, but I had a lot of fun playing it. There was some bad stuff I didn't enjoy very much, however, there's a lot of good there too. As for my score, I've always been fluctuating between a 6, 7, and 8. A 6 is normally when I think about a lot of the miserable stuff, and 8 is when I think about all the fun stuff. But I think for now, I'm gonna have to go with a solid 7 out of 10.